Microphone good? All right. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here, everyone. So we'll get started in just a second, but a quick overview. So we'll have podium remarks for a pair of speakers, and then we'll take some Q&A time at the end. We'll open it up for Q&A specific to our college football game and announcements. We'll do a separate B-roll opportunity, actually go to the locker room for that, and then we'll reconvene for additional media at the end of that. So with that, I want to invite Kansas City Chiefs and Arrowhead Events President Mark Donovan up to the podium.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for that round of applause. Appreciate that. Exciting day for us to be here. Really exciting for our Arrowhead Events division, an organization that we sort of put together about 15, 16 years ago, and is really, you'll hear today, just excited about what this platform can be for us. We're here to talk about college football. And for those of you who don't know, this iconic venue has hosted over 40 college football games in its career. It started in 1972 with Grambling versus Mississippi Valley State. We've had 5 Big 12 championships, 5 border showdowns between Missouri and Kansas, 2 Farmageddons, Iowa State and K-State. Recently had the opportunity to help our friends out in Lawrence, and while they're going through their stadium construction, host 4 of their home games. So it's a big part of our business, and when you think about our founder, Lamar, he always looked at Arrowhead as going to be the mecca of football and the mecca of events, and this is an area of the business that we're continuing trying to grow. We take a lot of pride in sharing this experience with fans. And college football and the games of college football give us the opportunity to share the experience with coaches, players, student athletes, fans, family, and they to experience Arrowhead at its best. And that's something that we're excited to continue. As you all know, college football is changing. It's evolving. And the leadership of our Arrowhead Events business, Matt Kenny, Jeremy Slavens, and in this case, Tyler Kirby, really put their heads together and said, how can we evolve with it? So as the game is evolving, we are evolving as well. And that's one of the reasons we're here today with 2 big announcements. The first you're already aware of, which is the folks from the Big 12 and the University of Cincinnati, and the folks from the Big 10 with the University of Nebraska will be playing here at Arrowhead on August 28th, broadcast live on ESPN. So we're excited about that platform. When I talk about platform, about creating new opportunities, the next announcement is a great example of what this can be, and that is creating partnerships. And we're excited to announce today that Battle Sports will be the title sponsor of the Kansas City Classic, which will be the name of this platform as we go forward. As we continue to grow on this, we'll continue to host more and more Kansas City Classics. That is the goal that we have. I would say this about Battle Sports, and then I'll bring up Tony Schrager to talk specifically. From our very first meeting with the folks from Battle, we were really impressed with their innovation, their aggressiveness, their growth mindset, and almost their joy in being disruptors in the space. And they're exactly the kind of partner that we wanted to have as we launch this platform. It also helps that we share some goals, and that is to continue to create opportunities for youth players and coaches, and through that, grow the game and grow participation in all forms of the game. It helps as well that they're based in Omaha, and right in the heart of Chiefs Kingdom, so it's great to partner with a local regional company. We're excited about what this growth can be. To give you a little bit of a taste for the Battle Sports brand, as I bring Tony Schrager up to make some comments, we're going to play a quick video so you guys can get a feel for that.
Thanks, Mark. We are thrilled to join the Arrowhead events team and the Professional Sports Partners team to help put on this event this year. As Mark said, we're located in Omaha, so Jiha field at Arrowhead Stadium has always been, and Kansas City itself has always been sort of a mecca for football in our region, and so we're in the Midwest in general. So I think we're so excited to be able to take this step in a familiar area. Mark pointed out battle's been disruptive and kind of pride ourselves on that in the football space, and I think we've sort of over the years changed the way people think or players think about products and about the events that we put on. So we've tried to innovate across all categories of football products, but we've always stood for more than that. And we felt, and I think we continue to feel, that at our core, it's most important for us to create experiences for the athletes that provide them with the exposure and help shape them as players and people. And you see a lot of them in the room today. So since 2017, we've helped create the best boys and girls 7-on-7, flag, and tackle events in the country, and we're blessed to see the landscape of college football filled with players that have had experiences on either battle teams or in battle events. And this game's no exception. I think you'll see a lot of players on both teams with those experiences, but I can point out a couple. Nebraska's Vincent Shavers, for example, was part of the historic team Miami Gardens Ravens that won 3 youth national football championships. He played on the same team as the star wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, now at Ohio State. Cincinnati's Cyrus Allen played for a long time Battle 7-on-7 program, the Louisiana Bootleggers, which also produced NFLers like Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith. So watching these journeys has been as fulfilling as anything we do. And we're honored to play a small role in an event of this magnitude, and we'll do everything we can to make the experience first class for the players and the fans. And to have the opportunity to take the next step in this iconic venue for us is as meaningful as anything. We're confident that the Kansas City Classic is going to be more than just a regular season college football game. The opportunity we see that these student athletes have to play on the same field as some of their idols should create a memory that they take with them through their careers and lives. So we're honored to share the responsibility and thank Arrowhead Events team for trusting us as partners. So thank you. We're looking forward to it. Thanks.
Mark, is this something that you're thinking about as a one-off thing, or is it series, or?
Yeah, the hope is annual, and the press that I've made to our Arrowhead events team is, why can't it be multiple games in the same year?
And you talked about just the different landscape of college football now. Is it with maybe NIL in mind that games like this provide opportunity?
You know, I think for us it's less about NIL, and it's more about the geography. You know, we sit at the crossroads of Big 12, Big 10, SEC. So we think that'll create opportunities for us to create matchups that make sense. As you guys know, as the NIL world changes, as college football changes because of that, we believe there are going to be more and more opportunities to put games together. And as conference realignment happens, we've already seen that opportunity. So what we want to do is to have a platform and a proven entity. And when you look at this matchup with Cincinnati and Nebraska, it is a really strong start. And we want to show people that we can put 65, 70,000 people into this building for a college football game. And that matters, both to NIL and to the conferences and the teams.
One from each of you. First, Mark, home games are precious, right? We
Yeah.
know that. What was it like to try to get the team to give up a home game to come to Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean, it's all part of the negotiation. It's all part of the platform we talked about. You know, platform is probably a good nomenclature for it, but the reality is we had to change our mindset to be a little bit more aggressive in the space. And we had to justify that risk that we take as an organization to bring teams like this into our building. There aren't a lot of teams that want to give up a home game. So you have to incentivize them to do that, and that's one of the things we put together.
Tony, for you, as a company, it's a crowded space, right? Cleats and stuff like that. What's it been like to try to battle the big boys and make steps like this?
It's been a challenge. It's been many years clawing and scratching, but I think it's culminated really with this, and to even be considered to be a title sponsor here, I think shows that we can play in that arena, and I think we really try to be authentic to who we are, and I think that comes through. We're trying to be the most credible, authentic brand in football, and you'll contrast that with others that try to be maybe more everything to everyone. We've never had that mindset. So.
A lot of these schools, I mean, Adidas school or Nike school or whatever, it's a chance for you guys to have a game, right? This is different than those relationships. What's the appeal on that side?
So it is always, that's a consideration. Neither one of these schools are battle schools. But I think, we're going to be showcased right alongside that. And I think sometime in the future, maybe you see more college. Right now we've played youth and up through high school. But, we were talking on the way up here. It really is for us the kind of the culmination of you watch all these kids kind of matriculate through youth and into high school, and now here they are in college, and for us to kind of make that leap, I think makes a lot of sense for us.
Mark, you mentioned filling Arrowhead Stadium. What were the early returns on this Nebraska Cincinnati this first matchup? Do you have expectations for?
We had very high expectations. When you think about the decision-making process, the opportunity to bring an ascending program like Cincinnati here, we have a slight connection there with our tight end, but also the opportunity to bring regional and having the Nebraska fan base, which is extremely loyal. We felt like that was a really good combination to drive numbers. I'll go back to the comment I made earlier about we take a lot of pride in sharing the Arrowhead experience. And GEHA Field has become sort of this place that people want to play. It's also a place where people want to experience. And this gives us the opportunity to bring the entire fan base from Omaha and Lincoln and Nebraska and beyond to Arrowhead to experience not only the Arrowhead experience, but the Arrowhead experience with their team.
Mark, does this affect the timeline at all of the work that's being done at the stadium now for seating?
So the good news is, and I'm sure we can take you out so you can see it, but we are very much on schedule, very much on budget. And really, I'll say personally, the project has exceeded my expectations. When you go into that project, we're talking World Cup now and seating, trying to take 10 rows out of a stadium and do it effectively and do it efficiently. And Clark Hunt is constantly ringing in my ear that when we first looked at this, he said, every single one of our fans who sit in a seat in those 10 rows are going to sit in that seat for every single Chiefs game. And we've been able to pull that off. And if you go and look at the stadium today, I think our fans are going to be excited about it.
Mark, you mentioned about, growing this to be future games each year.
Mm-hmm.
Will there still be that regional focus of having a regional opponent, or do you envision this growing beyond that to having national?
So yes and yes. There are advantages, as I mentioned, to having regional opponents from a ticket selling standpoint, from a crowd standpoint. But I think if we're going to establish the platform, we're going to have to be aggressive. We're going to have to look at what teams make sense to bring into this community. And I think as the game evolves, as college football evolves, you're going to see bigger and bigger matchups look to do things like this.
And what did you learn from last year with the experience of having Kansas games here and having multiple college games, and how that worked with the Chiefs schedule and being able to protect the field and turn things around?
Yeah, it's a huge challenge for our turf team. Our priority, number one, is to provide a safe playing surface for everybody who plays on it. Number two is to make sure that when Chiefs games happen, there are no issues that are caused by having college games. We're fortunate that we have some of the best in the business who do that. They give us some good efficient views of exactly what can and can't be done. It does take investment. You know, if you're replacing turf more often because of that, and that's cost on our organization, but that goes back into the business decision of, okay, do we want to take that risk versus the opportunity? And I think the probably unspoken opportunity is the ability to continue to build the brand, not only of the Chiefs, but of Kansas City as a place to host. When you think about all of Nebraska and all of Cincinnati coming for that game at the end of August, that has massive impact on this region. You know, there are a lot of hotel companies that are very happy that this game is on the schedule. Power and Light's very happy that you can schedule around this, and that's part of the role that we play in this community.
Mark, you've spoken a bit about enthusiasm for flag football coming in, and
Yeah.
Battle Sports obviously is pretty invested in that. Is that any element of this partnership, or?
You know, it's a huge added bonus because I would say that flag football for the NFL and for our organization specifically is a high priority pillar for us. We believe that the game is going to continue to grow through the participation in flag, and obviously with the Olympics, we think it's going to accelerate even more. So we want to be on the forefront of that. We want to develop players. We want to create opportunities for them. These guys do an amazing job with tournaments and elite championships. We want to learn from that. We want to partner with them on that and continue to grow the game because we believe that it grows the game, the NFL game, but also grows our brand and being a big part of that.
And Tony, just on your own thoughts on the growth of flag. I mean, obviously the space is, I think, growing pretty steadily.
Oh, yeah.
Astronomically right now.
Yeah, not only boys flag, but you see girls as well. And it's been an initiative internally for us for the last few years to really start to activate more in that area. It's the fastest growing segment. For a while, we were really known as more of a 7-on-7 brand. We were really the leader in 7-on-7, but you know, I think we all expect flag. Flag is huge participation and huge growth, so very important.
Anything else from our media? All good. All right, Tony, Mark, thank you. Thanks. So for cameras, media, I'll grab you guys first, and we'll